News killer George Thomas's ex-girlfriend has testified against him.
She described Thomas as a passive pot smoker who would not even step in when she had a rifle in her face. Thomas is the third defendant to go to trial for the deaths of Shannon Christian and Christopher Newsom. Volunteer TV's Mike McCarthy joins us live just outside the courtroom now. Mike, what else did she have to say?
Well, Bob, Stacey Lawson has testified at the trials for the other co-defendants in this case, and this is the first time, though, that she has taken the stand against her ex-boyfriend. Stacey Lawson told the jury that she had been dating Thomas for about a year when she and him drove down from Kentucky to Knoxville before Christmas in 2006. She testified she and Thomas stayed at the Chipman Street house with his co-defendants, Latavis Cobbins, Vanessa Coleman, and Lamarcus Davidson through New Year's. But she said she left after Davidson scared her by putting a rifle in her face. She testified Thomas did nothing to help her then. Lawson said she did not talk to Thomas after she left town until he showed back up in Kentucky days after the crimes. Lawson said that she saw Thomas checking a news website about the Christian and Newsom murders. Prosecutors have played a recorded jail conversation between Thomas and Lawson where he expressed a coulda, shoulda, woulda attitude about calling police, but didn't. The defense, though, pressed Lawson about other jail phone calls not played in court.
In any of your conversations with George Thomas that he said to you that he participated in any way in any of what went on down there?
No.
You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Well, also today, Evelyn Freeman testified she saw Thomas walking down Chipman Street Sunday morning. That is close to the time Newsom's body was found along the railroad tracks. The defense, though, attacked her credibility by pointing out just how frequently her story has changed about what she did that particular weekend and that particular day on Saturday, January 7th. We will have much more on that coming up, or excuse me, January 6th, that is. We'll have much more on that coming up tonight. First at 4, including a heated argument between attorneys about Freeman's statements today in court. But for now, we're going to turn things over to Volunteer TV's legal analyst and licensed attorney Rob Pratt to help us really understand where Lawson's testimony comes into play in this trial.
Well, Mike, thank you. Certainly legal strategy coming into play here in many ways, Bob and Allison, and I'll be glad to answer some questions about that for you now.
All right, Rob, thanks for joining us. First, let's start. The trial began with testimony from people who knew the victims. Well, now it's shifted to testimony from people who knew the defendant. So how does today's testimony help the prosecution?
Well, Allison, even though these are people whose entry into this case came because they knew the defendants, they can help provide details that no one else can. Whether it's talking about the gunfire that Stacey Lawson witnessed a week before these incidents occurred, or George Thomas's conversations with her after the fact. George Thomas's ex-girlfriend, of course, has a window that no other witness would have into what he was saying, what he was thinking. Same with Evelyn Freeman, who is the reason these defendants were at Washington Ridge Apartments in the first place. So they help build those blocks that help build this case for the state.
Rob, do you think the defense has helped its case on their cross-examinations?
I think they have in a couple of ways, Bob. One, you can always try to discredit the witness that the state calls. The defense has done that. You can also use the cross-examination to point out aspects of your case that are favorable to the defense. They have done that too, so they've used cross-examination techniques pretty effectively here today, Bob.
Bob, we appreciate your legal insight. Thank you. And remember that you can still watch this trial. It's streaming live every day on VolunteerTV.com. Of course, we'll have updates in each newscast. And you can follow along Mike McCarthy in the courtroom. He's providing updates at Twitter.com/WVLT.